Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Neil, and I'm all about helping you succeed in real estate and short-term rentals. Today, I want to take you back to late 2014 when I embarked on my very first lease arbitrage deal. This was a pivotal moment that launched my journey into real estate investing and completely transformed my life. I know many of you are eager to break into real estate, but might feel overwhelmed by the challenges and risks. Trust me, I was there too. My story is proof that with determination, resourcefulness, and a willingness to learn, you can overcome any hurdle and achieve your goals. So, whether you're looking for inspiration or practical tips, you're in the right place. Let's dive right into the nitty gritty of my first lease arbitrage deal. I'll share the highs, the lows, and everything in between to give you a clear picture of what it took to get started, and most importantly, how you can do it too. Back in college, I was always fascinated by startups and entrepreneurial ventures. I read extensively about innovative companies, and one that particularly caught my attention was Airbnb. The concept was revolutionary. People opening their homes to travelers, offering unique and personal experiences compared to traditional hotels. It sparked something in me, but I had no idea at the time how much it would shape my future. Fast forward to 2013, shortly after graduation, my girlfriend and I decided to take a vacation to Miami, Florida. I suggested we try Airbnb for our stay, and we ended up booking a studio apartment right on the beach. The experience was nothing short of amazing. It felt incredibly private and personal, almost like we had our own little slice of paradise. No front desks, no room service, just us enjoying our time together in a cozy space that felt like home. This was a totally different feeling from staying in hotels in the past. This experience left a lasting impression on me. I couldn't stop thinking about how much better it was than a hotel and how I could get involved in something similar. The idea of being part of this innovative movement was incredibly exciting. When we got back home, I was fixated on the idea of Airbnb. I kept thinking, how can I get involved? How can I create this kind of experience for others? But there was a big challenge. I had less than $5,000 in liquid funds. Buying a property was out of the question. That's when the idea of leasing an apartment and renting it on Airbnb hit me. It seemed like a feasible way to get started without needing a huge amount of capital up front. Initially, I had my doubts. I thought, no way will a landlord let me do this. But I didn't let that stop me. I started looking for rental properties and kept pushing forward, determined to find an opportunity. After a lot of searching and countless rejections, I finally found a landlord who was willing to give it a shot. This was the break I needed, a chance to prove that this idea could work. The excitement was real, but so were the nerves. This was my first step into the world of real estate investing, and I was ready to give it my all. One of the biggest challenges in lease arbitrage is finding property owners who are willing to let you operate a short-term rental out of their property. It's not just about finding a suitable apartment. It's about finding an open-minded landlord who understands and is open to the concept. This was the hurdle I had to overcome, and it took a lot of persistence. I spent countless hours seeking out and talking to property owners. I had to explain the business model, address their concerns, and convince them that this was a viable and beneficial arrangement. Many owners might wonder, why shouldn't I just do it myself? The answer is simple. Operating a short-term rental is significantly more active and hands-on than traditional buy and hold strategies. Managing a short-term rental requires constant attention to detail, regular turnovers, guest communications, and maintaining a high standard of service. For many property owners, this level of involvement is too much of a headache. They prefer the stability and minimal effort required for long-term leases. This is where the opportunity lies for people like us who are willing to grind it out and manage the day-to-day operations. I remember knocking on doors, making phone calls, and setting up meetings with landlords to pitch my idea. It was a learning process filled with rejections and doubts, but I kept pushing forward. I knew that if I could just find one landlord willing to take a chance on me, it could open the door to something big. Finally, after a lot of effort, I found a landlord who was open to the idea. This was a game changer. It wasn't easy convincing him, but I was transparent about the benefits and my commitment to managing the property professionally. I explained that I would handle everything, from guest interactions to property maintenance, ensuring the investment was well taken care of. Securing that first deal was a mix of excitement and relief. It was the validation I needed to prove that lease arbitrage was not just a pipe dream, but a viable business model. This initial success gave me the confidence to move forward and pursue more deals. For anyone looking to get into lease arbitrage, remember this: the grind is real and persistence is key. Finding that first open minded landlord might take time, but once you do it, it sets the stage for everything that follows. Starting out, I had a lot of fears. These fears were not just fleeting thoughts, they were constant worries that kept me up at night. What if it doesn't work? What if nobody likes the place? What if something breaks and I can't fix it? What if I get 1-star reviews and it ruins my reputation? What if I lose all my money? The list of what ifs seemed endless. Each fear it felt like a roadblock, a potential failure looming over my plans. The fear of the unknown was particularly daunting. I had no prior experience in real estate or hospitality, and I was venturing into uncharted territory. The possibility of failure was very real, and with limited funds, the stakes were incredibly high. But here's the thing about fear: it can either paralyze you or propel you forward. I chose to let it propel me forward. I knew that if I let my fears control me, I would never take that crucial first step. Every successful entrepreneur I had read about faced fears and uncertainties. The difference was that they pushed through them. I made a conscious decision to confront each fear head on. Instead of letting the fear of failure stop me, I used it as motivation to prepare and plan as thoroughly as possible. I researched tirelessly, learning everything I could about managing short-term rentals. I created contingency plans for potential issues and committed to providing the best experience for my guests. There were moments when the fears felt overwhelming, but I reminded myself of why I started. I wanted to build something meaningful, to create a path to financial freedom and independence. The only way to achieve that was to take risks and push through the discomfort. To anyone watching who's facing similar fears, know that it's a normal part of the journey. Fear is an indicator that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to take action despite it. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum and confidence. Pushing through my fears was one of the most challenging but rewarding experiences of my journey. It taught me resilience and the importance of taking calculated risks. And in the end, those fears that once seemed insurmountable became stepping stones to my success. When I embarked on my first lease arbitrage deal, balance was a luxury I couldn't afford. There wasn't much separation between my full-time job and setting up the property. I was in full grind mode, committed to making this work no matter what it took. During the day, I worked my regular job, but my mind was constantly on my new venture. I remember answering calls and responding to inquiries during work hours, often stepping out to handle urgent matters. It was a juggling act, and every moment counted. As soon as work ended, I shifted gears and headed straight to the apartment to handle turnovers and prepare for new guests. This often meant late nights cleaning, fixing issues, making sure everything was perfect for the next arrival. It was exhausting, but I knew that building an exit ramp to stable ground and financial independence was more important than anything else at the time. There were days when I felt completely drained, but the vision of what I was working towards kept me going. I didn't have the luxury of waiting for the perfect time or circumstances. I had to make the most of every opportunity and push through the fatigue. My weekends were filled with more of the same: meeting potential guests, managing bookings, and ensuring the property was in top shape. There was no downtime, no room for complacency. I was constantly on the move, driven by the desire to make this venture a success. Looking back, it was a period of intense hard work and sacrifice, but it was also incredibly rewarding. Each successful booking, each positive review was a small victory that fueled my determination. I knew that this was a path to creating something significant, and that belief made the grind worthwhile. For anyone in a similar position, balancing a job while trying to build a side business, remember that it's okay to be in grind mode. It's okay to hustle hard and make sacrifices in the short term for the long-term gain. The key is to stay focused, keep pushing forward, and never lose sight of your goals. In the end, the hard work paid off. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth having ever is. The experience taught me resilience, time management, and the importance of perseverance. If you're willing to put in the effort, the rewards can be life-changing. When I started, I didn't have a detailed framework or a well-defined strategy. My main goal was to set up the property as quickly and cheaply as possible. With a tight budget and limited time, I had to make every dollar count. I ordered almost everything online from Walmart and Amazon. Sourcing items locally wasn't feasible with my full-time job. I simply didn't have the time to drive around town comparing prices or picking up furniture. Ordering online allowed me to maximize my limited resources and ensure that everything would arrive before the move-in date. The furniture and decor I chose were the most affordable options available. I knew that higher quality, more expensive items would create a better experience for guests, but my financial constraints didn't allow for that. My focus was on getting the property ready for listing as quickly as possible. I bought the basics: beds, tables, chairs, and essential decor items, ensuring the space was functional and welcoming. Looking back, I realized that investing in better quality furniture from the start could have enhanced the guest experience and likely increased bookings. However, at the time, I was under immense pressure to get everything set up and listed to start generating income. Every decision was influenced by the need to save money and move forward. Despite the budget constraints, I was determined to provide a pleasant and comfortable stay for my guests. I put a lot of thought into the little details, making sure the apartment was well stocked with essentials and had cozy, homey feel. Even the cheaper furniture, I wanted to create a space where guests would feel welcome and at ease. The pressure was intense, but it taught me a lot about resourcefulness and prioritizing. I learned to make the most of what I had and to find creative solutions to problems. This mindset has been incredibly valuable as I've grown and expanded my business. For anyone starting with a tight budget, remember that it's possible to create a great guest experience without breaking the bank. Focus on the essentials, be resourceful, and keep moving forward. It's not about having the perfect setup from day one, but about continuously improving and learning from each experience. In the end, the constraints forced me to be innovative and persistent. They were challenges that shaped my journey and helped me build a solid foundation for future success. With my limited knowledge of online marketing and copywriting, I set out to create a thorough and appealing listing for my first lease arbitrage deal. I knew that a well-crafted listing could make all the difference in attracting guests, so I put a lot of effort into making it as engaging and informative as possible. I wanted potential guests to feel confident that they would have a great stay at my property. To achieve this, I focused on creating a listing that was not only detailed, but also conveyed warmth and hospitality. I emphasized the unique aspects of the apartment and experience guests could expect. One useful tip I learned early on was to describe the property room by room, almost like giving a virtual tour. This approach helped set the scene for potential guests and allowed them to visualize themselves in the space. I walked them through each room, highlighting key features and amenities. For example, I described the cozy living area where they could relax after a day of exploring, the comfortable bed in the bedroom, and the fully equipped kitchen, perfect for preparing meals. I also made sure to include high quality photos, even though I was working with just my phone camera. I took multiple shots of each room, focusing on the best angles and ensuring good lighting. The goal was to create an inviting visual story that complemented the written description. In my listing, I used persuasive copywriting techniques to highlight the benefits of staying at my property. I emphasized the convenience of the location, the comfort of the accommodations, and the unique touches that made the apartment stand out. I also included any special offers or perks like free parking or complimentary coffee to add an extra value for the potential guests. As I scaled up and added more properties, this room by room descriptive approach remained a core part of my strategy. It helped me maintain consistency across my listings and ensured that each property was presented in the best possible light. To anyone starting out, I recommend investing time in learning the basics of online marketing and copywriting. Even with limited knowledge, you can create a compelling and effective listing that attracts guests and sets you apart from competition. The key is to be thorough, honest, and creative in how you present your property. Creating a great listing is an ongoing process. I continually updated my descriptions and photos based on guest feedback and evolving best practices. This commitment to continuous improvement played a crucial role in my success and helped me build a reputation for providing excellent stays. When I first started with just one apartment, I managed everything manually. Back then, Airbnb's platform was much less robust than it is today, but there was plenty of demand, which meant I had to be on top of every detail to ensure a smooth operation. Without the luxury of property management software, I had to find ways to keep everything organized and running efficiently. Initially, I coordinated all my tasks through Google Calendar. This tool became my lifeline for scheduling guest check-ins and check-outs, managing cleaning times, and keeping track of maintenance tasks. Each day, I would meticulously update my calendar with all the necessary details to ensure nothing was overlooked. Communication was another critical aspect of my operations. To manage this, I relied heavily on WhatsApp groups. I created groups for different purposes, one for coordinating with cleaners, another for handling guest communications, and yet another for ad hoc tasks or emergencies. These groups allowed me to stay in constant touch with everyone involved and quickly address any issues that arose. Despite the lack of advanced tools, I found ways to streamline my processes. For example, I created standardized checklists for turnovers and maintenance tasks. This ensured that nothing was missed and that the apartment was always in top condition for new guests. Over time, these manual systems became well-oiled routines that helped me maintain high standards of service. As the number of properties I managed grew, these manual systems began to show their limitations. When I reached about 10 properties, it became clear that I needed more sophisticated tools to keep up with the increasing complexity. That's when I invested in property management software. This decision was a game changer. The software automated many of the tasks that I had been doing manually, such as scheduling, communication, and even some aspects of guest management. The transition to property management software allowed me to scale my operations more efficiently. It also freed up time for me to focus on other important aspects of the business, such as marketing and expanding my portfolio. However, those early days of manual management taught me invaluable lessons about attention to detail, resourcefulness, and the importance of building robust systems. For anyone starting with just one or fewer properties, I recommend developing strong manual systems and routines first. This foundation will serve you well as you grow and eventually transition to more advanced tools. The key is to stay organized, communicate effectively, and always be prepared to adapt and improve your processes. In the end, managing everything manually is the beginning. In the beginning, not only saved me money, but also gave me a deep understanding of the operational side of the business. This hands-on experience has been crucial in my journey, and it's something I look back on with pride. One of the most valuable skills I developed during my early days in lease arbitrage was problem solving. Whenever an issue arose at the apartment, my first instinct was to tackle it myself. I didn't have the luxury of hiring professionals for every little problem, so I turned to YouTube for guidance. YouTube became my go-to resource for learning how to fix things. Whether it was a leaky faucet, a broken appliance, or a minor electrical issue, I could usually find a tutorial or DIY video that walked me through the steps. These videos gave me the confidence to take on tasks that initially seemed daunting. At first, many problems felt complex and overwhelming, but with the right tools and a bit of patience, I realized that most issues were manageable. Over time, I built up a substantial set of tools and became quite adept at solving a wide range of problems. I learned how to diagnose issues accurately, which materials to use, and the best techniques for various repairs. For example, I remember a time when the heating system in the apartment stopped working in the middle of winter. Instead of immediately calling a technician, I spent some time researching the issue online. I found a video that explained common problems with the type of system I had and how to fix it. Armed with this knowledge, I was able to identify the issue and make the necessary repairs myself. This not only saved me money, but also allowed me to resolve the problem quickly, minimizing any inconvenience for the guest. Taking on these repair tasks myself also helped me develop a deeper understanding of the property and its systems. This hands-on experience was invaluable, as it gave me the skills and confidence to handle a variety of situations. It also meant that I was less reliant on external help, which kept my costs down and my operations running smoothly. For anyone starting out, I highly recommend embracing the DIY approach. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn new skills. The internet is a treasure trove of information, and with a bit of research and effort, you can solve many problems on your own. This not only saves money, but also empowers you to be self-sufficient and resourceful. In the long run, being proactive about problem solving can make a significant difference in your success. It allows you to respond quickly to issues, maintain high standards for your property, and build a solid foundation of practical knowledge that will serve you well as you grow your business. One of the most important lessons I learned through my first arbitrage deal is that no amount of homework can replace the value of taking action. You can spend endless hours researching, planning, and preparing, but at some point, you have to pull the trigger and give it a viable shot. The reality is that there's always a chance of failure, but without taking that leap, you'll never know what's possible. In the beginning, I did a lot of homework. I read articles, watched videos, and sought advice from experienced hosts. But despite all the preparation, there were still uncertainties and risks. I had to overcome the fear of the unknown and trust my ability to handle whatever came my way. This leap of faith was crucial in getting started and making progress. Throughout the process, I realized the importance of being creative, resourceful, and relentless. There were countless challenges and unexpected situations, but finding innovative solutions and not giving up made all the difference. For example, when faced with budget constraints, I got creative with sourcing affordable furniture and decor. When dealing with operational issues, I found ways to streamline processes and improve efficiency. These experiences taught me that there's often a way to turn things around if you're willing to think outside the box and persist through difficulties. The market is powerful, and sometimes external factors are beyond your control. However, your effort and adaptability play a significant role in your success. By staying committed and continuously learning from each experience, you can navigate the ups and downs and come out stronger. One of the key takeaways for me was the importance of action over perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment or perfect plan can lead to missed opportunities. Instead, I learned to take action, learn from my mistakes, and make improvements along the way. This iterative process of doing, learning, and adapting has been fundamental to my growth and success. For anyone on the fence about starting their own venture, my advice is simple. Take the plunge. Do your homework, but don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Embrace the uncertainty and be prepared to face challenges head on. By being proactive and adaptable, you'll find that many obstacles can be overcome, and success is often within reach. In the end, my first lease arbitrage deal was more than just a financial success. It was a journey of personal growth, resilience, and discovery. It taught me valuable lessons that have shaped my approach to business and life. And most importantly, it showed me that taking action, even in the face of uncertainty, is the key to unlocking new opportunities and achieving your goals. This first lease arbitrage deal turned out to be a success far beyond my initial expectations. When I started, I hoped it might net me $100 to $200 a month after expenses. It was a modest goal, but I figured that any extra income would be a step in the right direction. However, the reality was much more impressive. The apartment ended up averaging $4,000 in gross revenue each month, netting me about $2,200 after expenses. This was a game changer. The success of this first deal opened my eyes to the immense potential of lease arbitrage. It wasn't just a side hustle. It was a viable and lucrative business model. Seeing the substantial returns from that one apartment motivated me to scale up quickly. I realized that if I could replicate the success with more properties, I could significantly increase my income and build a solid financial foundation. With this newfound motivation, I set my sights on expanding my portfolio. The goal was to use the cash flows generated from the lease arbitrage deals to fund down payments for actual property purchases. This strategy would allow me to diversify my investments and build equity over time. I knew that owning properties would provide additional stability and long-term growth potential. Scaling up wasn't without its challenges, but the success of the first deal gave me the confidence to push forward. I started looking for more opportunities, applying the lessons I had learned and refining my approach. Each new property came with its own set of hurdles, but I tackled them with the same determination and resourcefulness that had gotten me started. As I expanded, I also began to develop more sophisticated systems and processes to manage the growing number of properties. I invested in property management software, hired cleaners, and established a reliable network of contractors. These improvements not only made operations more efficient, but also enhanced the guest experience, leading to higher occupancy rates and better reviews. The impact of that first successful deal went beyond just financial gains. It gave me the belief that I could achieve more than I had ever imagined. It fueled my ambition and reinforced the importance of taking calculated risks. Each new milestone built on the foundation of that initial success drove me to set higher goals and strive for continuous improvement. For anyone considering getting into lease arbitrage or any entrepreneurial venture, my advice is to start with a clear vision and be prepared to put in the work. The rewards can be substantial, and the experience can be transformative. Success in that first deal was the catalyst that set everything in motion for me, and it can do the same for you. In the end, the journey from that first lease arbitrage deal to building a growing real estate portfolio has been incredibly rewarding. It has taught me valuable lessons about perseverance, innovation, and the power of taking action. And most importantly, it has shown me that with the right mindset and determination, you can turn even the smallest opportunities into significant successes. And that's the story of my first lease arbitrage deal. It was a roller coaster of challenges and wins, each step a crucial part of my learning journey. This first deal laid the foundation for my entire journey in real estate investing, teaching me invaluable lessons about perseverance, resourcefulness, and the power of taking action. Looking back, I see how every obstacle and victory shaped my approach and fueled my determination to succeed. From the initial fears and budget constraints to the thrill of securing my first booking and scaling up, every experience has been a stepping stone to where I am today. I hope you found this story both helpful and inspiring. If you're considering starting your own journey in real estate or any other venture, remember that it's okay to start small. Face fears head on and learn as you go. The key is to stay persistent and keep pushing forward, no matter the challenge. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support means the world to me and helps me continue sharing valuable content. Also, let me know if you have any questions or specific topics you'd like me to cover in a future video. I'm here to help and would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.